Despite increased efforts to save rhinos from being killed, poaching is on the rise in South Africa. Over 135 rhinos have been killed in the Kruger National Park and the surrounding protected area since the beginning of this year. The practice of dehorning, though, is gaining momentum as one measure to protect the animals. Sumitra Naidu visited the park recently to see how it's being done.
It's loud and terrifying, but the rhino needs to be in position. A tranquilizer gun is used to shoot the animal to semi-sedate it. Using a chainsaw on a rhino doesn't sound like a good idea. It's certainly not what any vet or wildlife ranger wants to do. But rhino dehorning has become a necessary practice to save the animals.
My job is just to manage the animal, make sure that the animal doesn't die, because when you knock them down, they sort of like you put them on a borderline of death and life. We sort of manage the animals, and then we cut the horn as short as possible and also take some samples. We believe that it deters poachers when they see that the horn is not complete. It's not worthwhile for their time to come and harvest the short ones.
After intense debate over ways to save the rhino, dehorning was adopted a few years ago. Sandparks began its process in 2019, but then had to stop due to COVID. The team resumed the process in March.
We started on the other side in Chokwane. At the time we started, the poaching was very high. They were getting in like almost every day.
The Kruger Park is one of the largest game reserves in Africa. It spans over 2 million hectares. Keeping poachers out is still a challenge.
We're here in the Skukuza part of the Kruger National Park, and behind me a rhino has been discovered. It was killed about 2 days ago. Investigators and the forensic team is now currently on site.
This is the adult cow, and the first one was the calf. It's presumed that they were shot. We saw some blood on our way into the crime scene, so it ran, and this is where it fell. If you look at the face, it has been hacked off, which means the horns have been taken away. The colleagues here are trying to collect as much evidence as possible to link either an individual or a gun to this particular crime scene.
There's been over 700 incursions in the park since January. Security and law enforcement is being stepped up.
We've got our Environmental Crime Investigative Unit, which is working together with the South African Police Services. What's more disturbing is that you've lost a possible 5 other rhinos because a cow has been killed. And that is why we are imploring upon the prosecution team, the NPA, that if somebody is arrested after killing a cow, the sentences must be more stiffer.
It's now a race against time to save these animals from extinction. Sumitra Naidu, CGTN in the Kruger National Park, South Africa.